When we focus too much on telling others what we do, we often forget one simple truth. People are more interested in who we are than what we do. You see, every single one of us has an identity that transcends our job titles or professional roles. We are much more than the work we put in or the company we represent. We are human beings with dreams, values, and passions that go far beyond our day-to-day tasks. Imagine walking into a room and introducing yourself with your job title or career. You say, "I'm a doctor," or "I'm a lawyer," and instantly people start placing you in a box. They judge you by your profession, and in many cases that judgment doesn't go deeper than that. But when you focus on who you are, on your character, values, and what you stand for, that's when the real connection happens. People begin to see beyond the surface. They start to recognize the person inside, not just the job title or role. The truth is, the world is full of people with impressive resumes and job titles, but the ones who stand out, the ones who make a lasting impression, are the ones who let their personalities, their kindness, and their authenticity shine through. When you focus on being a person of integrity, of empathy, of passion, it doesn't matter as much what you do. People are drawn to the energy and character you bring to every interaction. They will respect you not because of the work you do, but because of who you are as a person. Now think about this for a moment. When was the last time you met someone and instantly remembered them because of their job title? Probably not often, but think about the people who have left a lasting impression on you. Was it their job that stood out? Or was it the way they made you feel, the way they treated others, the way they inspired or motivated you? Chances are it was their character and not their job that left a lasting mark. Our job titles, professions, and industries are temporary. They may define us for a season of our lives, but they don't define who we are. Over time, careers shift, industries change, and sometimes we find ourselves in completely different roles than the ones we began with. But through it all, who we are remains constant. The foundation of our character, the way we show up in the world, and the values we live by are what leave a true legacy, not the work we do in any given moment. When you lead with who you are instead of what you do, you create space for genuine connections. People begin to see the real you. And that's where meaningful relationships are built. It's not about impressing others with your resume. It's about impressing them with your heart. It's about showing up authentically, not trying to prove something, but simply being true to yourself and letting others see that. As you move through life and interact with others, always remember this. Your job does not define you. It's your character, your kindness, your integrity, and your ability to connect with others on a deeper level that will make the difference. The next time someone asks what you do, don't just share your job title. Instead, think about who you are and how you can contribute to the world around you. Because in the end, people won't remember what you did, they'll remember who you were. When we focus on telling people what we do, we often neglect a powerful truth. Actions speak louder than words. Our actions, the way we behave, and the choices we make on a daily basis reveal more about who we are than any job title or professional accomplishment ever could. It's easy to tell people about what we do, but it's much more impactful to show them through our action. Consider this. It's one thing to say that you are a leader, a mentor, or a person of integrity, but it's entirely another thing to actually demonstrate those qualities in your interactions with others. People remember how you made them feel, how you handled challenges, how you responded to adversity, and how you treated them when no one was watching. These actions are what build trust and respect over time, not the mere proclamation of a title or a role. Your actions are the living proof of your values and beliefs. They tell the world what you stand for without you ever having to say a word. Think about the leaders you admire, the ones who have inspired you, motivated you, and made an impact in your life. Chances are they didn't gain your respect through their job title alone. They earned it through their actions. They showed up every day with integrity, authenticity, and a willingness to lead by example. They took responsibility, made tough decisions, and never compromised their values, regardless of the circumstances. On the other hand, there are countless people who boast about their accomplishments, their titles, and their expertise, but when it comes down to action, they fall short. They may say they're committed to their work, but when faced with challenges, they avoid responsibility or fail to follow through. Words are cheap, It's easy to say you'll do something, but it's far more difficult to follow through and make it happen. And people notice that. In the end, it's your actions that define you. It's not about the things you say or the promises you make. It's about whether you deliver on those promises. When you say you're going to do something, do it. When you commit to a cause or a relationship, follow through with integrity. Show the world who you are, not by what you say, but by what you do. That's how you build credibility, trust, and respect. People are watching. Whether we like it or not, the way we behave, the way we respond to pressure, and the way we interact with others sends a message to the world. You can say you're honest, but if your actions contradict that, people will remember your behavior over your words. You can claim to be a person of character, but if you're not acting with integrity, people will see right through it. It's the consistent daily actions that align with your values that will leave a lasting impression on others. Let's be clear. It's not that words don't matter. Of course, what we say matters. But words without actions are hollow. They lack substance. They're like empty promises. When your words are backed by action, that's when real power is created. That's when your influence becomes unstoppable. If you want to truly make an impact, if you want to be someone who others respect and look up to, it's time to stop focusing on what you do and start showing up with actions that reflect your values. It's time to let your behavior, your choices, and your character speak for themselves. When you do this, you'll no longer have to tell people what you do. Your actions will speak for you and the world will take notice. In a world where titles, resumes, and job descriptions often define us, it's easy to forget that our true value lies not in what we do, but in who we are and what we contribute to the world. When you focus on becoming a person of value, rather than constantly promoting your profession or job title, you begin to attract the right kind of people and opportunities into your life. The key to building a successful and fulfilling life is not about pushing what you do on others. It's about developing your character, skills, and mindset so that your value is evident in every aspect of your life. Think about this. People are not drawn to us because of the title we hold or the job we do, but because of the value we offer. When you add value to others, whether it's through your knowledge, your support, your compassion, or your actions, you create relationships based on trust and respect. It's the value you bring to the table that makes you indispensable, not your job. Your value as a person is not defined by the work you do, but by the impact you have on others and the world around you. This idea of adding value begins with the concept of self-improvement. To become a person of value, you must constantly strive to better yourself. This means investing in your growth, both personally and professionally. It means improving your skills, expanding your knowledge, and developing your mindset. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you naturally begin to add value to the lives of others. Whether you're a teacher, a doctor, a business owner, or a stay-at-home parent, your value lies in your ability to improve the world around you. This doesn't mean you have to have a high-profile job or achieve worldly success. What matters is the positive impact you make on the people in your life. Adding value is also about developing relationships. The connections you build with others are not based on what you do for a living, but on how you make others feel. When you help, support, and encourage others, you build trust and create meaningful connections. People want to be around those who lift them up, inspire them, and make their lives better. If you focus on becoming a person who brings positivity and support into the lives of others, you will find that opportunities will come to you without you having to actively seek them out. Your value will be recognized by those around you, and you'll start to attract the right kind of people who appreciate who you are and what you bring to the table. Moreover, when you focus on adding value, you begin to shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Instead of worrying about competition, comparison, or proving your worth, you start to believe that there is enough success and opportunity for everyone. When you give without expecting anything in return, you create a ripple effect of generosity and positivity. This is how true leaders are born. Not from a place of ego or ambition, but from a place of service and contribution. When you focus on adding value to others, you elevate not only their lives, but your own as well. This mindset of adding value also encourages a sense of gratitude and humility. When you become a person of value, you realize that your worth is not defined by external recognition or titles, but by the difference you make in the world. You don't need to constantly remind people of what you do or seek validation from others. Your actions and the impact you have on those around you speak louder than anything you could say. People will notice your efforts and will want to support you in return, because they see the value you bring to their lives. The beauty of focusing on becoming a person of value is that it doesn't require you to be in any specific job or position. Whether you're at the top of your career or just starting out, your value comes from your character and your ability to contribute in meaningful ways. You don't need to have a prestigious title to make a difference. The most successful and fulfilled people are often those who are driven by purpose, not position. They focus on adding value wherever they go, and that's what makes them stand out. When you stop promoting what you do and start focusing on who you are and the value you offer, you free yourself from the pressure of having to prove something to others. You begin to attract opportunities, relationships, and success naturally. And the best part? You'll find that success and fulfillment come not from what you do, but from the person you become along the way. The idea of letting your impact on others speak for itself is perhaps one of the most powerful concepts you can embrace in life. When you focus on demonstrating your worth through actions rather than words, you create an environment where your value is recognized by the results you produce and the influence you have, not by the title you hold or the profession you claim. This shift in focus allows you to work with a sense of purpose and integrity that transcends the need for external validation. Your impact will speak for itself, and over time, people will come to recognize your worth without you needing to explain it. Many people spend an overwhelming amount of time trying to define themselves by what they do. They boast about their roles, their companies, their achievements. And yet, despite all this, the true measure of who they are is rarely determined by these external factors. Instead, the lasting impression you leave on others is determined by how you show up, how you contribute, and how you treat people around you. It's the quality of your actions, the kindness, respect, and integrity you bring into your interactions that ultimately determines the legacy you create. Another powerful aspect of this mindset is that it shifts the focus from personal gain to service and contribution. When you focus on making an impact, your intentions shift from self-promotion to adding value to others. You begin to realize that true success is not about how many accolades you can gather for yourself, but about how many people you can positively influence and help. This creates a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that far outweighs any external recognition. It gives you the opportunity to experience real meaningful success that's based on the difference you make in the lives of others. As you continue to let your impact speak for you, you also find that your influence expands naturally. When you consistently make a difference in the lives of those around you, you create a ripple effect. Others see the positive changes you're bringing, and they want to be a part of it. They seek your guidance, your advice, and your support because they recognize the power and value of your actions. This ripple effect spreads, and soon you may find that your impact extends beyond the immediate circle of people you interact with, affecting a wider audience and making an even greater difference. Ultimately, when you stop trying to explain yourself and focus on the impact you have on others, you find a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose. You realize that the best way to define yourself is not through words or titles, but through the tangible, lasting effects you have on the world. When your impact speaks for you, it will resonate far more powerfully than any job title or personal claim ever could. In conclusion, the message is clear. What you do is not as important as who you are, and your actions will always speak louder than your words. By focusing on becoming a person of value, showing up with integrity, and letting your impact on others define you, you create lasting connections and build respect in ways that no job title or profession ever could. It's not about constantly explaining what you do or seeking approval. It's about living with purpose, letting your behavior speak for you, and offering something meaningful to those around you. In the end, your true worth is measured by the difference you make, not by the title you hold.